This is Two Shy Guys a Mile High. Cue the damn music. It's got to be good to the guests. Yo, we back. Two Shy Guys a Mile High, or 2CGMH, since we changed the name.
Rebranded.
It's your boy P. Will, a.k.a. Drip Chronicles.
It's your boy WB. Come fly with me.
It's your boy Al Digger, the architect in the building.
Hey, man, how y'all doing today?
Doing good, man. Doing pretty good. I was able to do a lot of reflecting this morning. As I alluded to, in the future, my uncle just recently passed away. So just trying to get back on the right mental path, with that. So was able to do some reading this morning, was able to do some journaling, and I think that was really good. So I'm pretty good, feeling inspired.
Hey, for real, man. I like that. So just segueing into that, man. Feeling good as well. Just had the opportunity to make it through another week, as we always talk about. Just blessed to be here, especially under these trying times. Is just trying to keep a positive mindset, and just, that positivity goes into your mind. And just, since we're going to be talking about it on the show, it just goes into like how you think about yourself spiritually and the health that you stay within and how you keep yourself. So, this episode going to be special because we got another special guest coming to the show.
Yes.
So yeah, man, this is Al Digger in the building, man. Just piggybacking on what you guys are alluding to, the mental health boy, man, and trying to understand what a typical day looks like for you, like in your mind, like just really having some type of plan for your day. That's what I think about when I think about like mental kind of health and keeping that part of your regimen healthy. Like all your parts should be healthy, right? Your spirituality, your mental kind of how you think about things, your critical analysis skills. Your relationships, all these things should be healthy. And so it starts with the mind though, right? Mm-hmm. Because the mind and the body, right? The mind's going to follow, right?
The mind feeds the body.
Right. Yeah. So if you're thinking just negative thoughts all the time, like Peter was saying, if you have positive thoughts, just thinking about it from that perspective, that should hopefully lend towards, better outcomes. And so without further ado, we do have a young guest here.
Yeah, we do have a guest. He goes by the name of Tobi Shimbanjo. Tobi at Tobi England on Instagram. He's a health and fitness coach. He is a British Nigerian, and he is blessing us with his presence. And he's going to help us get to the gusto about what we talk about, this, mental health, physical health, how we become our best selves as we go towards 2021. I know everybody thought they had 2020 vision, but God said something different. But with that 2020 vision that he had for us this year, we're going to do something a little bit odd in 2021.
Yeah. Now, without further ado, special guest, please introduce yourself.
Hey, I go by Tobi. Most people know me as Tobi, but my full name is Oluwatobi Shenbanjo. But you can find me as Tobi England.
Now, when you say Oluwatobi, one of my brothers as well, his name is Oluwarotimi. So, what is the meaning of your name, or together, what does it mean?
Yeah, man. Oluwatobi means God is big, or like God is massive. So,
nice.
Yeah.
That's what's up. How are you doing today, man? It's getting cold out here. How you doing on this blessed Saturday?
I'm good, man. Off to a good start in this day. Had a couple clients. Woke up fresh. Had my coffee.
All right.
Glad to be on this podcast, man. Got a lot to say.
Okay.
So,
nice.
Yeah, we appreciate it, man.
We appreciate you too. And before we get you talking about yourself and the background a little bit, maybe just talk about how the podcast has helped you and some of the things that it's helped you do in your life.
Oh, man. So, as we all know, this year has been, a roller coaster, of emotions. We don't have to change our lifestyle, almost at every month. And so, just going through a lot of this year, I discovered this podcast actually during the pandemic. And it touched on a lot of things, that I was feeling or, going through at the time. So I would say when George Floyd first happened, this podcast really helped me get my mind together and to stay focused. And that was powerful for me because, like so many other people, I was in a funk, and it was hard to come
How can
out.
you not be affected by that,
Right.
Man.
Wow. Yeah. And just touching on that a little bit, just let us know, not only us in the room, but the listeners as well, too, a little bit about your background. How did you end up in Seattle in the first place?
And where you from, just in general.
Oh, yeah, man. So, born in England, I would say raised both England and America. I came here when I was 10, and I've lived in a few different states up until this point, just touching in Virginia, Maryland, Atlanta, Boston, now Seattle. But I would say, what brought me to Seattle in the first place is I had some family out here, and I was looking to reunite with family. So I knew I could take, what I do in my career and bring it out here and, try to build something new. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good. So it's all about growth and progression and making sure that you get there. But in terms of your personal fitness philosophy and what you see as a personal trainer out there right now, what do you think is some of the general things that the public needs to hear? That's party foul on me. I owe everybody a drink because that was my phone. That's WB5 with me. I'll take the tech on that one. But yeah, let's get back into it. Just let us know a little bit about what was your why into getting to the training business in the first place?
Okay, so in terms of getting into just training, I would say, my father, growing up watching him, he was a very active man, and my brothers followed suit. So I think that's always been something that's been in me is to be active. So I think at some point in high school, I just started training, using weights and, didn't really understand what I was doing, but, was just going, doing my thing.
How many brothers do you got?
I got 3 brothers. So I got 2 here in the States and then a half brother out in England still.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And what's the age difference between you guys?
My younger brother, 3 years under me, older brother, 5 years, and then the other is 8. So, we're pretty spread out.
Yeah.
That's not bad, though. But you got somebody that you can talk to about stuff and kind of get different perspectives
For
on.
sure.
So that gives you a little bit of a, heads up, perspective there. Because you can say, hey, bro, like, okay, what did I do? What did you do wrong here? So you can learn from that. So.
Yep, I'm watching them, and I'm making my decisions based on their experiences.
It makes for friendly competition too, right? You see them doing something, I gotta be like, okay, let me
you
put
did 20 push-ups. I'm doing 22 today. You ain't gonna beat me.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, for sure. I started seeing other people that were in great shape, and I'm just like, well, like. What do I need? What do I need to do to achieve this? So I started doing research and just training myself more. And once I saw the results were coming in, it just really put my mindset in a space where I believed I could do it and I could show other people they could too.
Wow.
So
Yeah, that's real.
That's real.
Let's stick to that mindset though, right? Because I mean, growing up with brothers too, I was the only child, right? So I look at it from that perspective. I didn't really have too much like competition kind of pushing me that way. So that was a little external stuff. But how did that shape kind of your drive and your stick-to-itness there? Because I think that's a critical piece of why you had a different perspective, right? And plus you were talking about kind of how you all the cities you've been, things like that. But how did that family kind of friendly competition keep you motivated in those times, like maybe like now where it's tough to really stay motivated?
Yeah, I would say I was proud of my family, watching them, especially as they're active. It was something that we all did, and so I felt good watching them and knowing that they were keeping up with theirs, but I wanted to be the best, so I took mine to as far as I could. So that's definitely what kept me motivated a lot. And like I said, it built that mindset for me where once I started to see, what I was achieving,
results.
it's like, all right, like everybody can be feeling this, like
you figure out your process there.
For sure.
You can teach that, right?
For sure, yep.
That's what it's interesting, man, because that's the biggest piece, though, having that mindset, right, of this is what I want to do, you know what I'm saying? I might not know exactly which way I'm going, but it's going to be tough. I'm going to stick with it, you know what I'm saying? Because your brothers, man, I know I got cousins like brothers, man. They going to needle you, just like the cats on my boys to my left right here, right? They going to always push me, It's not like they're upset with me or something. They just say, hey, Al, let's go. They're going to give me that nudge that you need. And so that community, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, just coming back to what you were talking about the podcast and how, that kind of helped you. Like we appreciate you sharing that with us because now we know, like, to keep doing the things that we're doing, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
being able to give that back. So just having that community. So talk about that, man. You talk about you had clients and things like that. Like, how did you kind of build your community, if you don't mind speaking on that a little bit?
Oh yeah, for sure. So I would say I started a big part of my career in Boston. I was going to school out there, and at the same time, I was working in a gym, and then I got the chance to just meet a lot of people. Through this gym, they came from all different areas. Some doctors, some teachers. Just different fields, and after a while working with a client, we get personal. And so once you start to, just build those relationships with your clients, you kind of, you'll always keep up with them, like you always want to know, how they're doing, if they're still doing their training, if you rubbed up enough on them, you know what I mean? Like, they take on your philosophy as you, as you work with them. And so, I will say this year, I've really discovered that through all of my interactions, I have built a strong community because I can still turn back to, all of my past clients, have conversations with them, get support from them. It's big. So
it's a testament to your work, obviously.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Wow.
That means you left some type of impact on them that helped change their life at whatever point in time that your two paths that cross.
Yeah.
So you leaving that impending impression on them is like it could be satisfaction to you to say, okay, I was able to do this myself, and I'm able to get somebody else to have the same type of beliefs that I can, mold myself or put myself in the best position to be healthy and to love my body and to take care of yourself, have that self-care because it's, you get in, what you put out. So all the work that you said, all the hard work in those days where it's like, dang, why am I going to get up and do this today? And why am I going to continue this progression to, where I'm trying to meet is because you got that goal in mind and you be able to do that. That's why you never lost those connections with the people that you have helped in the past. So
you genuinely care there. I mean, and for the listeners out there, like that's what it is. It's not a secret. If you want good relationships with people, have a good relationship with yourself first, right?
Love yourself,
right? So you can't. I've always believed you can't give somebody what you don't have, right? Like I don't have too much time. If I'm not managing my time right, I can't be here with you guys doing the cast. You know what I'm saying? You can't have clients in the morning and come do the cast. You gotta be conscious of what's going on and having that that mental fidelity, right? Like, yo, I want to accomplish this. It's going to take this, and this. If I kind of just stagnate over here, then I got to make up for something over here. So that balance is coming, but in your mind, you make that conscious decision. And so, like, that's what you got to do. I mean, really stay focused on your goal no matter what and build that community. And so the relationship piece is crucial. And like I said, with the listeners listening, hopefully, we're building the relationship with you guys and letting you know, here we are. This is what we want to do to help and bringing people like Tobi on to talk about his story.
So I know you said you just, I know you recently moved here from the East Coast. How is that transition for you? Because I know it can be different for everybody else. Like me coming from Midwest, it was different. WB come fly with me. Coming, Denver, going down south, going to school, coming out here is different for him. Al Digger, different from you coming from the Midwest. How was your experience moving from East Coast to the West Coast? Because I know it's got to be.
Yeah, man. I would say it was a big difference, man. I moved from Boston. I spent like 6 years out in Boston, and out there, man. I was on my toes a lot. You can walk around everywhere. You know, they got big metro systems set up, so you know, getting around is easy. And you know, for my kind of work, you know, I need to be able to move. You know, see people, get to, you know, one studio or the next. There was just a lot of that deep city life out there. And then moving out to the West Coast, you know, I need a car now, and you know, I'm hitting up different neighborhoods. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love it out here, man. It's cool. The vibe is really cool out here. The people out here, you know, it's a different vibe than Boston. You know, cool in both places. It's hard to, I would say, find like fast food restaurants in the city. You know, there's a lot of like mom and pop shops. You know, and they got, I would say, a lot of like healthy eats out there.
What's that one food you miss the most?
Oh man, I miss that lobster roll.
Ooh, yeah, that sounds like it's banging.
Man. You gotta make sure James Hook and Company. By the way, if you're going out to Boston, they got the best lobster rolls.
Shout out James
Hook and Company. Yeah, for real. Shout out,
man.
Yeah, but you know, then I came out to Seattle, and you know, and again, this ain't necessarily a bad thing, but I'm seeing, you know, a lot more fast food. You know, it's easier to hit that drive-through and grab something, and you know what I mean. Everything's a little more spaced out, so
that's fair.
But
I kind of felt the same way.
Yeah, but I mean, but Seattle's a fit city though. Like,
yeah.
You know, I noticed I'm a year living here now. You know, and I can tell you, like, Seattle is definitely a fit city, man. They got a lot of studios, you know, all about. So you know, it's not hard to find. But you know.
It's kind of different right now. It's a little bit shut down.
Yeah, we shut down, but we making a way, man.
So how did you build your clientele base on up and you know over here?
Yeah, so that was one of the bigger you know, challenges for me initially, just because of the setup out here. You know, moving from Boston, I wasn't exactly you know, I wasn't entirely sure what my transportation situation was going to be. And so, you know, when I got out here, it was more just find a community, you know, work through a studio, and then, you know, figure it out from there. So, you know, I interviewed at, you know, a few different studios, a lot of really cool ones. But I came across Orange Theory, and, you know, I started, I liked their system. You know, I liked the setup that they had, the operation they had going. And so, you know, I started working with them, and I built up, you know, a good community there. You know, I had some really cool, you know, coworkers that I trained with, and, you know, a lot of the members were just, you know, very, very friendly, and, you know, they made me feel, you know, welcome, which was exactly, you know, what a community should be.
Yep.
So, you know, built up a good network through Orange Theory. And then, you know, the pandemic hit.
Yeah. Which was very unexpected. And I'm pretty sure it you know, everybody's experienced their own portion of the pandemic in their own separate ways. So, like, being a trainer, being into health, I know it's been, you know, because you got to work from home now. Yep. So the virtual lifestyle, you got to take an effect with that now. And you got to move that way and operate that way. So I know it's been has it been a struggle for you, or is it something that was, you know, that you're able to, you know, make maneuvers around? Because we had a show, you know, back about adapting. How did you adapt to, you know, the new times?
I heard that one too, by the way. Actually, that's another podcast that helped me out. You guys should check that out. Yeah. Check that out.
Go ahead, check that out.
But you know, yeah, when the pandemic hit, you know, everybody had the same mindset. Like, all right, this is gonna be, you know, 4 weeks. We'll be back. You know, we'll be back at work in June. You know, not everybody was out of a job, but, you know, for us in the fitness industry, you know, they shut down the studios. So it's like, all right, we're about to be at home on the couch for a little bit, just, you know, waiting until we can get back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then June turned to July. And then, you know, in July, I think I'm kind of like, all right, like, I know, you know, we're going back, but I'm just going to have to start doing something on the side because, you know, gotta have some kind of income coming in. So, you know, I started reaching out to my networks, reached back to Boston, which is amazing, you know, that I had, you know, people out in Boston that were, you know, open to me training. So we set it up through Zoom calls, and, you know, we got the online training going, and, you know, that was like a couple times a week, which was cool. still waiting to see where, heading back to work. I think July turned to August. And at this point, I'm like, all right, we got to get something really going. So, started building more clientele from Boston. Again, East Coast. Love you guys, man. Thank you. And then I started getting some attraction on the West Coast. Like some of my clientele through Orange Theory started to reach out. I post a lot of my training on Instagram and Facebook. And so, I'll get people looking at the stories and, asking me all sorts of questions, commenting, just motivating people to make the best of the situation. So
follow him at Tobi England.
Follow.
So I got more people interested, and August turned to September, and this is when I'm like, all right, got to get a full operation going. So built a website through a lot of support. I had so many people, getting my head straight for that because pandemic was, still is rough. But, finally got the website going. And once I really got that going, it just made made everything a little more official. And my operation just got much bigger from there. And so, yeah, man, it was really just, it was like a sink or swim moment, man. Like you can sit there and wait. You can wait for things to go back to normal, or you can wait for, some kind of handout, or you can just try to create something, man.
Right.
Like
make something happen.
Go get it.
And
Stick to the script.
Stick to the script. But from the outside looking in, I just, as a black man, WB, come fly with me, want to encourage another black man to say that through it all, from when the pandemic first started to where we are today, I definitely see a glow up in terms of your drive and what you've been able to put out there. Just seeing you start to have that first inkling of a conversation like, well, do I wait for Orange Theory to hit me back, or do I do my own thing? And I was always trying to encourage you to do your own thing because I think that you had a higher calling than that. So I have noticed that along the way, and I do appreciate you too, because I want to let the listeners know that this man, he trains me, you feel me? He comes through, works me out, helps me along the way in my physical journey as well too, and as well as my mental journey, because we have a type of relationship we can talk about things and help each other out through difficult times and be there and support each other through everything. So I definitely want to give you your roses while you're still here, about how you have been able to transition and defeat the pandemic, because some people are sinking, some are swimming, and I think that you're a prime example of somebody that's swimming at Olympic pace. You're doing a good job. So
I appreciate
stick
it,
to
man.
your own personal
I
story.
appreciate it.
And I know that transition can be tough, so it's always good that you can meet somebody, that can that both can motivate each other, So I'm pretty sure, I've seen the progress in you, WB, and then I've seen the training that you guys been doing is definitely helping, I think both of you out just from the conversations that we're having here today. So it's always good, us helping each other within the community, within the black community, promoting the excellence that we're all out here doing, and to help connecting each other, because without that, then we would have never got to the situation where we're talking, and then Al Digger and we all talking, and just never knowing what you can help each other with through our journeys. We might be in some type of spot where we need some type of help, or can share something, or life is all about sharing, and just sharing content, sharing experiences, and just sharing what you know. And then, never knowing who else can utilize the information and the knowledge that you're helping, spread out there. So,
but that's the hardest part, though, too. Like knowing when to kind of step up and really just punch through some of the blockers, especially in your mind. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the key. You could have been like, "Yo, I'm just this pandemic." Like you said, I'm sitting on the couch. I'm just gonna put on a few pounds, whatever. You could have easily fell off the wagon there. You know what I'm saying? But just drawing off some of your experiences, you know what I'm saying? And we always try to bring those experiences here so people understand some of that why to keep you going. And so, having, maybe your brothers in the back of your mind, like, hey, Tob, don't be getting lazy, bro. That little speak in the back of your mind that you was raised in that. And then the pandemic hit, it's like, yo, I done been through worse, you know what I'm saying? As far as the mental boy.
Yep.
I done been teased my whole life because I'm sure now I'm big boy now and they still tease me, so now in your mind, you're like, yo, I'm mentally here. Now, how do I put that system around what I'm trying to do and keep my own values. Because now you could just, like you said, you could just went and did something else, worked at McDonald's. Nothing wrong with that, but you could have just that's not where your passion at.
No,
that's not where your gifts are. You could have just say I'm screwed in my gifts. I'm just gonna stop. So for the listeners, man, what was that? I think that defining moment for you where you were like, yo, like you said, that sink or swim moment. Obviously, you got to make some money, but when did that switch hit you in the mind? Like, yo, this is it right here. I'm doing it. I'm feeling it, and I'm not looking back. Like, can you talk a little bit about that? Or
Yeah. I would say, I did a lot of private training in Boston, and in my head, having my own operation was something that I've always wanted to do. I just was always usually going through something where I couldn't put it together at the time. But that feeling came, rushing back to me. For one, I just looked around me. I looked at what everybody else was doing, and I'm seeing a lot of suffering, and I'm just like, I know I can actively be doing something, with myself right now, with my time right now, that I can build something up and help people around me. Whether it be my fellow trainers, who are out of work at the time, or whether it be members in my community who I knew wanted to work out. Like, working out to them is important for their day,
Sure.
And now that this is gone, it's just it's not the same. And so in order to help create some of that for people, I decided like it was time, man. Like, I need to do it for myself, and I need to do it for everyone around me. Just start building, start creating, start working with people, getting some of that interaction back that has been so lacking.
That's crucial.
I couldn't sit on the couch, man.
No, I hear that.
You hear the passion in your voice though, there to help too, and being vulnerable to say, yo, I don't know this. You said you had support to get the website up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a huge thing, and that's another barrier that you could have just been like, yo, I'm gonna serve 2 clients, and I could do that. But now, the sky's the limit here. And it's just like, that's what we're all about here. That's what we're all talking about. And so just, we appreciate you sharing that with us.
Yeah. I got a quick question for you, Toby.
Yeah.
Earlier you talked about how self-belief is important. Can you explain to us and the listeners how you were able to get that for yourself to say, okay, I'm making progress on the fitness journey, and then as well as, okay, I'm doing good on the fitness journey, but I'm learning enough that I can actually share it to people. How was that progression?
So I would say, as you are building yourself up, as you're working on yourself, you're exercising, you're trying to fuel your body with the right things. It's also affecting your mindset. You're building discipline, but you're getting endorphins. You're feeling more active. You're feeling good. When you're on a routine, you feel generally like good. You're accomplishing something, and so. When you look around you and you see different lifestyles, people maybe trying to be more active, but, not able to really work it out for themselves. You want to help them. You want to give them tips. You want to, just let them feel like what you're feeling, which is your small successes with each, thing that you accomplish. And so,
things add up.
Yeah, and so that becomes a value for a lot of people, and that's something that allows me to just connect with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how much of it do you think is within like the mental aspect of getting to the point where I got the confidence and I got the like in my ability like the push, the drive for you? How much of it is mental versus also being a physical thing as well?
A lot of it, I would say most of it is mental. You have to believe in yourself in order to know that you can accomplish it. And, for me, I'm someone that is very hard on himself, but likes to challenge, myself a lot, whether it be, building myself up physically, or whether it be, taking care of something, mentally, you know what I mean? So I would say when you achieve your goals that you've set in front of you, and you continue to do so, you know that it's possible for other people around you, right? They might just have a mental block because maybe this goal that they're trying to tackle is something that they've never been able to accomplish before, or maybe it just is that, they can't see, they think maybe they're different, like, they're just not built that way. But the truth is, like, you really set that goal in front of you, you focus on it, like, you're gonna get it.
Message.
You know what I mean? It's your focus, it's what you want for yourself. When you really want something, you find a way to it. You you make it possible for yourself. And so I know that. And that is why, I want to, share that same belief with, those around me. Like,
Wow.
Yeah, you really, for me personally, I talk about my personal experience working with you. The fact that you just take the pressure off everything, letting me know that, okay, it is obtainable, but it's just going to take some time and it's going to be a journey. I'm not a professional athlete. I'm not getting paid for the way my body looks. So I should be in no rush to get there and just take those small steps and be consistent on how to get there. And I think that is a portion of your philosophy that you try to instill as you train people. And thinking about that, I wanted to just get a little bit of the emotions that come through when you are working with clients and the process of helping them get better. Like, how do you personally feel doing that?
So, I'm sure a lot of people have heard me say consistency is key. I mean, it's generic, but, it is the truth, which is why I say it a lot. But, that's what I try to instill on everybody that I connect with is like, stay consistent. You're going to have your good days. You're going to have bad days. Challenges are never meant to be easy, and that's why they're challenges, right? So you're going to step up to it and you're going to keep at it for as long as you can until you accomplish what you want. And I would say, a good deal of people I've worked with have been able to see them, put themselves in better situations, been able to see those results that they set out for, and they only just set more goals, and keep it going.
Wow.
But, just seeing that, it always makes me happy. I mean, I've seen so many changes in my lifetime, just with the people I've worked with, and the feeling is always amazing every time. Every time I'm, just smiling and like just proud, because I can remember when, any one of my clients, like when they first started and, just to the point where they are today is just, it's night and day in what they know and what they can do for themselves. So,
yeah. And now that brings something home that I was thinking about too. I'm doing this physical journey for myself, but knowing you as my bro, I want my bro to be happy too. So as I improve myself, that's going to make him happy so we can all fuel each other. And it'll be like an internal combustion engine. You feel me?
Positive energy, man.
But it does work out though, because you gotta, I mean, look, we talk about the support system a lot because those bad days, right? You can internalize a lot of stuff and think it's me. You touched on that a lot, and you get clients that come to you with that same type of just internal strife, and it could be background, it could just be, a pandemic, it could be just PTSD, just anything that they've gone through. You're literally like a personal counselor in a way, and a friend and a confidant, but you're also giving folks the kind of the mental awareness of like, you can do this. And you have to be, it comes with a little bit of vulnerability, because if you're not sharing your story, right? And if we're not sharing our story here on the podcast, then we're not able to connect and have those shared experiences. And that's what really draws the connection, just from my personal experience. It's not just me talking about it. Also, if I'm able to connect with who I'm coaching or who I'm with, that just makes the relationship so much deeper. And so talk to us a little bit about just how those deep relationships have kept you just grounded, right? Because I know it's been times where, like just in this pandemic, I have to talk to my bros a lot, like, hey man, I've had to reach out just on the other side of it, right? Me being a coach, I need some coaching sometimes. Like, do you have like somebody you reach out to when things get kind of hectic and when you need that little extra push, or like just to talk to listeners about that?
Absolutely. So, like I said, in this pandemic, I've had a lot of support, from my clientele. Like, my clients have really come through, and it's, not just, to help me pay my bills, but it's also been to keep my head on straight, to Even I have my ups and downs, even my discipline wavers, so when you have those around you that believe in you, it's reassuring for one, it's reassuring that what I'm doing is making a difference. But also, it goes both ways. I'm helping them. They're helping me. I share information with my clients all the time, about my personal life. We talk about theirs, we connect on that level. And so, that's, it's a give and take relationship, but that's been a big deal in just keeping things going forward, during this time. So
the mutualism, man.
Yeah.
That's important. Yeah. That's important in any relationship, whether it's business, whether it's personal, spiritual, you got to have that mutualism. And, it's just refreshing, man, to hear different perspectives, especially because we all have kind of shared visions and shared values for ourselves. But to hear like your story and hear kind of just the same kind of success in your personal pursuits, man, it just motivates, us as entrepreneurs as well. And just trying to help our community, whatever that might be. And so, this is kind of where we are here, trying to build this community where there's no pressure. There's no need to be anything other than yourself. And and you get that authenticity when you connect with your clients there, and it's apparent.
Absolutely. Yep.
And for the listeners out there that's trying to get themselves started and trying to first knock the dust off, or especially being in the pandemic, not kind of taking everything seriously, like what would be some advice that you would give the listeners to say, okay, I need to start this now, I need to pay more attention to my body, take care of myself? Like, what advice would you give them?
The ones that were trying to get off the greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes. But boy.
Nah, I mean, right now I would say your health is more important than ever. We got a virus out here that unfortunately we don't know how it attacks us, but if your health is not in the right place, it can be aggressive with you. And this is it's just something that we have to now put value on. You gotta invest in yourself so that we can live longer. It's all about surviving, for as long as you can, being as happy as you can, living with purpose. But the key is to live, and in order to live, like, we got to take care of ourselves. We can't just ignore physical health anymore. So I would say now is the time. Start small, but start. Start making those small changes in your daily routine. Just start, because over time it's all going to pay off, and you're really going to be in a better place mentally, physically, emotionally.
Start small.
And
like
start small.
Because people try to go like, I'm just cutting cold turkey tomorrow, I'm not eating no can. No, like, don't even fool yourself like
realistic.
that. It took you time to develop that habit. Give yourself time to develop a new habit.
And don't worry about what nobody thinks of it. Like, you just take it at your own pace. Because a lot of people go in and just like, you see other people in there getting fit, and you think like, oh man, why don't I look like that now? Or it just takes time, and it takes that dedication. They've probably been doing it for a while, or it doesn't matter, or genetics or whatever it is. So you just got to be focused on like, why am I doing this? Why is it important to me? And once you get to that point, you'll have more of a draw to say, okay, I need to do this for myself. I'm not doing it for anybody that, I'm doing it for myself to feel better. And then, like
Absolutely.
you said, you can, it reflects, and it shows in yourself. Like, I know you take the time to put in the work just through the dedication that you already have, just seeing the progression in UWB, seeing the progression in yourself. It's just like how we make this walk on earth and what our impacts are. You can see the things that we did and the time that we took to prepare ourselves for this moment.
Yeah, same thing here. Like, it took some prep to get all this together. Thank you guys for putting everything together here with us. And it's always fun, man. Like we keep going, man. This is always fun. But I know we want to keep on the topic, which is, mental health, keeping that going. So how y'all feeling, man?
How would the listeners be able to get in contact with you if they wanted some information? How would they find Tobi?
You can check out my website, TobiEnglandFitness.com. You can check me out on Instagram, Facebook, Tobi at Tobi England. I ain't gonna put my cell phone up here, but
281-330-8004.
Who?
Mike Jones.
Who?
Mike Jones. Album coming soon.
Man.
Yep, I'm out here in Seattle, man. So if you see me, you can talk to me, man. I stop and talk to people, man. They'll stop me in the grocery store and ask me questions, and I'll make time for it. So
For real. And we always gonna put it into the description. We gonna put the link in the bio. We add Tobi to we gonna tag you on IG, especially when we drop the episode.
Yeah,
man, we appreciate you coming, man. It's definitely been an enlightful episode. Hopefully, the listeners get into what I've got from it, just learning from from your journey and just the story, your background. So, man, we appreciate it from 2CGMH, man, for sure.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Hey, man, thank you guys for having me here, man.
Any other parting words though? Any gems any lessons that you might have?
Oh man, lessons from this year, man. Just whatever you're going through, just look forward, man. You gotta look at your life in the grand scheme of things, and you gotta find out how you can put yourself in the right place. Give yourself the right energy to accomplish the things that you need to do on a daily basis. I can say I've been just throughout this year, in many different places, man. But I always got to continue walking forward, and I need to have the right energy to do that. So that's what's important. If I can do it, y'all can too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Live by faith, man. Trust in God, and pray for change, and make sure you manifest in what you believe in. So. It all cultivates at some point in time as long as you put in that hard work and dedication. It's your boy P. Will, Drip Chronicles.
It's your boy WB. Come fly with me.
It's your boy Al Digger, the architect, still in the building. We appreciate you, listeners.
We appreciate y'all tuning in. Please, shout out to Tobi, man. Appreciate you having on the show. The description's below. Please reach out to him if you need some advice. And we out.
How you in the building if we finna leave?
Leaving a bit.
I need some real nigga reparations, or I run up in your bank just for recreation. Dedication, hard work, plus patience. To some more of my sacrifice, I'm done waiting. Told you that I wasn't playing. Now you hear what I've been saying. Dedication.